In today's journey, we take a look at the art of gift giving in the homebrew world. And as a survivor of 6 Black Fridays at local homebrew shops, we think we know what's going on. But let's take a look where most brew tubers start. How to get into homebrewing in a gift giving experience. Step 1. Don't just think, but know that the person receiving your gift actually wants to get into homebrewing. And that they know what that actually entails. That means read the damn book. So much stuff gets returned right after they realize what it really means to brew. Now, you don't need to memorize all 527 pages, but they should be able to get through Chapter 1 without losing interest. It's important to remember that while equipment is returnable, recipe kits are not. And if they're ready for equipment, we have a link down in the description to get you everything you need, including a pot to brew in. You can get a simpler kit, but just make sure they have a pot to brew in. That's a gallon or more that they can boil at once. These equipment kits will include everything you need to brew except for the ingredients themselves. And that's where we will have a list of recommended first-time brewing kits. It's a little hard to pick a first one because you need something that's easy to brew but will absorb any mess-ups. Plus, you want to pick something that you know they're going to like, which is why actually in the homebrew industry, gift cards are the best gifts. And that goes across the board. This American wheat is nice, but get them a gift card. They'll get their own things. But let's turn this around to the people who actually need gift-giving advice. Brewers. It's fun to think that all your friends and family want a bottle of your beer. But I'd say about 95% of brewers are told the truth when their family says, "Oh, you make great beer." And that's about 85 to 70% true for winemakers. And they're not being mean. They're meeting you halfway. It's just like giving a ballerina baseball cards for the holidays. Leave your homebrew for your homebrew friends, where it will also be much more appreciated. But if you are one of the lucky few that has a family that supports your hobby and actually likes what you make, don't just give it in any old bottle. Dress it up. Put a nice cap on. Make sure it's clearly labeled so they know what it is, and make sure there's no excessive sediment at the bottom. Unless it's some sort of legendary specialty thing you make, it should look like you could sell it in a store if it's good enough to be given as a gift, instead of it just being something you grabbed on the way out of the house. And that's why when we do the gift giving of alcohol, we go with something that's locally crafted and that they wouldn't be able to find at a normal place. For example, this Grateful Head, which is a habanero-infused cider. Great for any person that loves spicy food. Because remember, gift giving is about knowing and understanding somebody and giving them something that they will understand and enjoy, not just shoving what you like onto them. For example, for a foodie, a Shadow Thicket is a great gift. This honey wine with raspberries and blackcurrant is the best thing to serve with red meat ever. Even better than a slice of bread. But it's not a guarantee that they'll like it. Because again, remember that they would need to like a mead and raspberry and black currants in order to like this mead. It gets awfully embarrassing when you try to gift a mead to somebody and find out that they don't drink. But the act of giving someone a bottle of alcohol doesn't have to be about the drinking. Sometimes there's other novelties. For example, this After Xmas Ale by Witch's Hat is the same beer they do pretty much every year, but it's done a little different. This is a 2018 edition. So the gift of this beer is more of a time capsule to be given and enjoyed later. And in some cases, they can even become rare collectibles that are worth something in certain circles. So it can be a monetary investment that commemorates a time and place. That's collectible. But another way that you can beam it to another level is by introducing another nerddom into your gift. And this is where the details can really start to shine, as the flavor text on the back of these Star Trek wines can really make the presentation pop. Unfortunately, we gave it away as a gift, but the best way to make these gifts pop is with a wooden gift case. A link in the description. But what really put that project over the top was that we used a vinyl cutter to put on some of our favorite quotes onto the box. And if we don't do that video on this channel soon, it'll go on our other one, the Bee's Knees Pottery. And this last bottle we have here may not be as flashy as the Star Trek wine, but another good way to link your gift to the person you're giving it to is by linking it to a location that you both have fond memories of. For example, it's hard to imagine a Michigander that's never been to Traverse City, or at least had cherries from there. Sure, it's a bit of a novelty, but it's a great wine to have in a collection for just going down memory lane. Of course, they would need to first be the kind of person that doesn't think of cherry as a medicinal flavor, and that they actually like wine. A good way to think of it is, how would a homesick person think of your state in a wine form? But let's review. If you're giving out alcohol as a gift this holiday season, there should be a connection of some kind or an experience that you're giving the person, instead of basically just saying, hey, you look like I could use a drink. And if you do have the skills as a home brewer or vintner to give out yours as gifts, make sure it's presentable as if it's sold in a store. But whatever you do give, the gift should come from the heart and not be considered an obligation that must be committed. And if you don't know what someone wants or are unsure, just ask. Just ask someone what they want. And in return, never withhold that information to somebody else of what you want to receive. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.